Your Excellency, thank you so much for taking time off to be with us. We understand that you're very busy now that we're closing in to Timor-Leste becoming the 11th member of ASEAN. We're all very excited at this point. Now, I'd like to begin here. Where is Timor-Leste today on its ASEAN journey? What has been achieved so far? And for the government and for you, what remains a priority at this point?
First of all, thank you very much. I think joining ASEAN obviously is a new chapter for our country. It's an achievement of huge achievement. It's a landmark milestone. It has been a great journey. So for us, we see joining ASEAN as doors open for Timor-Leste to join with the region that known, and we have witnessed ourselves throughout the observer status. We enjoyed the observer status over the last 2 years, a vibrant community, very dynamic. So for Timor-Leste, ASEAN membership is an open door for us to access to ASEAN free trade areas. That means access to 680 million people of population, and it also allowed Timor-Leste to be part of the community of nations and enjoy the benefit, but at the same time, Timor-Leste would also like to contribute. So it has been a very fascinating journey. It's transformative at the same time.
How do you mean when you say transformative?
Transformative in a sense that throughout the process of accession, throughout the preparation for complying with the roadmap that we were given, the requirements of to be a new member, we have also gone through a lot of reforms in our institutional reforms, investment in human capital, also in economic policies. Because we are joining a region that, as I say, trade become very important these days, and to allow us to really ensuring the integration is a smooth integration, we have to do a lot of reforms internally. So we have done quite significant reforms, responding to the roadmap, at the same time also creating an enabling environment for future engagement to make a very predictability in terms of trade regime. So that requires a lot of work. And it was a daunting task, continue to be a daunting task ahead of us, but we are see the process of as being fascinating and continue to be a task that we'd like to prioritize after the accession. So we're not talking about only about preparing the country to join. Of course, it has been a lot of work, but the real work is going to start after the accession. So full of responsibility and commitments of post-accession requirements.
Right. Malaysia holds the ASEAN chair this year. Now, I'd like to move or segue into Malaysia's role. What role do you see Malaysia playing in helping Timor-Leste move closer to full membership? Let's take a look at the low-hanging fruits at this point.
Okay. Well, allow me, first of all, to go back. I would like to really use this opportunity to appreciate the support from Malaysia has been indispensable since day one of our independence. So the support is not only now that we are getting closer to join this regional organization, but even when we are restore our independence, Malaysia has been there to support us. So those supports actually in one way or another getting Timor ready to be able to join ASEAN. So that's the support that we have been getting from, but particularly for Malaysia chairmanship with the theme of inclusivity and sustainability, a lot of support has been extended to Timor-Leste, not only getting to comply with the roadmap itself, accelerate the process, but also the leadership support, like from Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, the Prime Minister, has been very committed, and we will...
How do you mean when you say PMX has been committed?
Very committed in terms of engaging with the leaders in the region, making sure the Timor-Leste accession is going to happen this year. But from Timor-Leste side, we're fully aware of our responsibility as well. We're making sure that to be able to achieve that objective, we're trying from every angle, from whole of government approach, that making sure that we can fulfill the roadmap. At least the priority one of the roadmap can be fulfilled by Timor-Leste. And we have done that. And the support of the capacity building from the government of Malaysia, from the mechanism of MTCP, has been very, very instrumental, making sure that our civil servants, our business people, engage with each other, attending
public and private sector. Yeah.
Public and private sector engage with each other, with their own counterparts in the region, and also in Malaysia. We've been doing a lot of some exchange program. Our senior diplomats have the opportunity to attend a different session in IDFR, for instance, but not only that, also extend to other line agencies. And that's part of the human capital development.
Right. With regards to work, you talked about the Prime Minister. Have you had many conversations with the Foreign Minister of Malaysia?
Oh yes, I'm the Som leader of Timor-Leste. I accompany my foreign minister, and obviously in every meeting we also have the presence of the foreign minister. Foreign Minister Muhammad Hassan has been in a close communication with my foreign minister, Mr. Bendito Freitas, and that support that has been also extended by the foreign minister has been instrumental and guide us to where we are today.
Right. Now, at this stage, what forms of support or even cooperation from ASEAN partners are most valuable to Timor-Leste? And I know when I ask this question, it's quite a tough question because the doors are wide open to ASEAN and there's a lot of diversity in ASEAN. But I think Timor-Leste sees what she needs at this point from all member countries, from all the 10 other states. I'm sure you see opportunities in all states. And what do you see most valuable at this point from partners in the ASEAN bloc?
Well, we would like to thank all the ASEAN member states. The 10 member states have been very helpful. I think since let me go a little bit back to until we received the roadmap. So we had an opportunity to do a fact-finding mission across the 3 pillars, and then the evaluation from those findings, and then eventually we received the roadmap. So in the implementation of the roadmap, the member states have been very helpful together with the Secretariat. And for that, we can only appreciate the support that has been extended to us. Each country has their own expertise, obviously. We've been working closely with all of them, with Laos, with Cambodia, Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, all of the member states have been very, very helpful. With our immediate neighbors, Indonesia, our cooperation pretty much cover all sectors. And in education, because of the language, our students, many of Timorese, are very conversant in Bahasa Indonesia. So in education sector, Indonesia normally become one of the destinations for our students to go and study. But also Malaysia, it's some differences in Malay and Bahasa Indonesia, but of course we can understand each other. So the support we've been receiving from all the member states, obviously based on each expertise, but all of them have been supporting us to allow us to arrive to where we are today.
Now, when you talk about just pushing that question forward, preparing your institutions to meet, now I guess in ASEAN or the ASEAN bloc, there is a certain standards that they aspire to. Now, pushing institutions within the country to meet ASEAN standards, for example, in trade, governance, and I think the most important at this point is security cooperation. What are your thoughts here?
Well, our Participation is also not only in the other two pillars, but also in political security, obviously. We've been participating as observer in the ASEAN Regional, for all the ASEAN-led mechanism, ASEAN Regional Forum, East Asia Summit, and also ASEAN Plus 3. So those meetings assist us. We pretty much understand the process, and we work closely with not only the member states but also the dialogue partners on security issue, on training of our police or our military, is not only from the member states but also the partners, like in this case with Australia and European Union. That's part of the security side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So part of the security side, now you said political security, economic and socio, there's also socio-cultural pillars. From your perspective, which area, I guess there's many areas to look at, the most challenging for you at this point, and how would you like to see it addressed?
Well, Timor-Leste is only 23 years after its independence. Restoration of quite young, where we at the same time addressing the competing priorities. We have a lot of priorities to address, but at the same time also respond to the requirements under the ASEAN membership. I'm not going to say that the one pillar is more important than the others. We weigh the three pillars at the same importance, but obviously economic one remain very complex. So to address to those economic requirements and understanding the different legal instruments under the economic agreement, it's quite daunting task, and to really get to understand and being able to comply, it's another exercise. So economic pillars has been very complex, making sure that we have a regime that can allow our trade in goods, trade in services, investment and movement of natural person, making sure that eventually Timor-Leste will be integrated into the region smoothly. It's quite exercise, but we have done our quite significant undertake. So
you fulfill the requirements under the roadmap.
Under the roadmap for priority 1. There will be a priority 2 and then priority 3.
Can you just explain that to us very simply? Yeah.
Under priority 1, we have around 7 criteria under the roadmap. So the 7 criteria. The second criteria requires Timor-Leste to fulfill around 85 legal instruments. Some belongs to political security, some to social culture, but the big numbers actually under the economic pillar. It's around 49 economic pillars. To allow Timor-Leste later on, when we are working on the economic integration, we have at least a strong foundation for being able for us to be able to ensure the economic integration is smooth. So we have to address those legal instruments within 2 years period. But I think we treated this accession as a very important process, so everybody engaged, whole of government, under the leadership of my Prime Minister Gerard prioritizing this compliance towards those criteria under the roadmap. So criteria 1 we completed. I think some negotiation are still ongoing, particularly to get to the final agreements on the market access offer. Pretty much. Then
the final agreement on the market
access offer. So
right.
we have to have a agreement between. We have done some bilateral negotiations and also negotiation with the members, facilitated by the Secretariat, to see the commitments that we would like to have with the member states, and the schedule of commitment, when to liberalize certain tariff. So we have reached to the point that has been very, very advanced right now. After the accession in 26th of October 2025 in Kuala Lumpur, Timor-Leste still have around, for the second criteria, we go into the second priority, which you have around 48 legal instruments. It's also under economic pillars. 5 years from there on, we will have another 106, the same under economic pillars. So for political security and social culture, it's only under priority 1. For priority 2 and because it's more on cooperation, but economic requires more exercise.
Ms. Milena, I'd like to move into opportunities and contributions. Now, Malaysian investors are paying close attention to what's happening here in Timor-Leste. And the other part I want to talk about is also the bad press it gets without even saying anything. I'll go to that later. But which sectors in agriculture, tourism, or energy do you see as the most promising for collaboration for Malaysian investors at this point?
Well, we have what we call our National Strategic Plan 2011-2030, which stipulated clearly that our sectors have more investment is agriculture, tourism, and fisheries, and renewable energy. And I think these are the sectors that we would like to invite our brothers and sisters, from Malaysia and also ASEAN country, and to come and invest. As I mentioned just now about our compliance towards those economic agreements, that actually set the foundation, and with the recent accession to WTO, it's also set the foundation for Timor-Leste to have an enabled environment for investment. Obviously, certain infrastructures need to be in place. It's a work in progress, but the condition for more investment to come, it's getting better and better. And we would like to have our private sectors from the region to come and invest in Timor in these priorities.
Right. One of the reasons why we're here is also to see for ourselves, because sometimes, when you see in the press what happens in Timor-Leste, I think after coming here, that has changed our minds a lot about how peaceful it is, how tolerant a people can be. And to use the word tolerant, according to your president, is even not the right word. People just get along. And having said that, the most interesting thing here is outreach and teaching people about what Timor-Leste has, going and swimming with the blue whales in Atauro. And no one knows about this. The pilgrimages the Catholic diaspora can have within Timor-Leste, knowing that the late Pope Francis came here, so on and so forth. But that aside, outreach programs to tell people, look, this is what we have, this is what we offer, why don't you come? Everything's pristine here, our food is not tainted, everything is... do you have programs of that nature within your ministry?
We have done a number of business forums in different countries in ASEAN and beyond. But we see joining ASEAN could also be a catalyst to promote Timor to the wider region, not only in Southeast Asia, but also beyond Southeast Asia. So this is also part of what does it really mean for Timor-Leste to join ASEAN, to also make sure our diplomatic visibility. Well, as you rightly mentioned, our religion tolerance, we don't see anything that divides us because of the religion. We see as everybody is just Timorese, so we get along very well, and we believe this is just also a value that we would like to promote outside. Obviously, we need to do more from the diplomatic point of view to promote the country. And we have around 28 missions abroad. And we trying to set a roadmap to somehow to promote the country. Well, it's not really well known also because it's a new country anyway. It's a small country with only 1.5 million of populations, small economy. But we believe that by joining ASEAN, we could also have more diplomatic visibility.
One thing for sure, about what people know in ASEAN is Timorese coffee is really great. Having said that, let's move into the young people. Talk to me about the young people of Timor. You've got a great demographic of young people. There's so much opportunity waiting in the next 5 to 10 years. Tell me about the young people here and what ASEAN member countries need to know about them at this point.
Well, we have over 60% of young people aged below 35. So the demographic dividends is quite promising. And of course, we also have some problems with low unemployment is quite high in the country, simply because there's not many employment opportunity available. But in our, as we believe that young people as an asset for future development of the country, the human capital development made available by the government and also the partner has been our priority. So, the number of young people unemployed, many of them, we had some of the programs we call, we work together with Australia on the labor scheme to send them, but that's unskilled labor. But also number of Timorese actually living and working in the United Kingdom.
But we also see that there's a robust TVET push going on now as we speak.
Yes, it is, and also some of them actually supported by Malaysia. Malaysia is being also supporting us in the vocational training and technical training, because not everybody will go to university anyway. With current development, I think vocational training is very, very important. We have several youth centers around the territory that will also help the young people to get engaged and learn and get some technical expertise. Not only have to go to learn formal education in the university, but also to be able to understand about the requirement of the job opportunity in the future.
Now, Timor-Leste is often described as a country of untapped potential, and I guess all media houses coming from all over the world are looking at that untapped potential now. Now, what unique strengths do you believe Timor-Leste brings to ASEAN, and how would you like partners to recognize that value? And I'd also like to point out that Timor-Leste helps ASEAN or bridges ASEAN to the Lusophone countries like BRICS or the Portuguese-speaking countries. So that's where Timor-Leste is helping ASEAN. How would you like to add on to that?
Well, thank you. First of all, you would like to contribute to already existing very peaceful region. And obviously, we also have some value that you would like to bring to the region. One value that we're always proud with our immediate neighbors, with Indonesia, our reconciliation spirit. We reconcile with our neighbor right after the conflict. So that's the value that we uphold very much, because our leaders came up with this idea, and that worked very well. And link Timor-Leste with CPLP country, Community of Portuguese-Speaking Country. Obviously, the Portuguese-speaking country located in a different continent, but we see the potential how we can also link ASEAN in the future. We know the process is not an easy one. It requires different way of address such cooperation. As you know, as I said in the when we observing ASEAN so far for 3 years, everything is based on consensus. Everything has to be brought to the table and discussed and get the agreement. So, but and also not only Portuguese-speaking country, we also have another grouping that we call G7+. G7+, it's a group of countries that came out from conflict and would like to have their voice, and they already have their status as observer at the United Nations, which also trying to making sure that whatever development agenda is country-owned, country-led. They are not. They are resourceful, but they still living in the post-conflict condition. So these are the other group. The Timor-Leste is being party to, and we would like to see how we can collaborate with this grouping and making sure whatever we learn from ASEAN, we'd also like to introduce to other group in the Timor-Leste party.
Right. Before I let you go, Your Excellency, your message to Malaysia and also the press people who will be congregating in Malaysia very, very soon to see a very exciting bit or history in the making for ASEAN.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Malaysia, the people of Malaysia, the government of Malaysia, who's been helping Timor-Leste. I would like to reiterate once again, not only joining ASEAN, but from day one of our restoration of independence. So that has been helped Timor-Leste a lot to allow Timor-Leste arrive where we are right now. If we were here 10 years or 20 years ago, Timor-Leste was completely different. But today, Timor-Leste already reached to certain development stages we're proud of. And for that, we would also like to thank Malaysia for being with us since the beginning. And for media colleagues, I think the history in the making, you're right. We are going to celebrate a big event in Malaysia on 26th of October this year. But again, the real work is about to start. We're joining the community, but after that, it's a lot to do. So we are preparing for the post-accession. We would like to invite media community to come and visit Timor-Leste and promote Timor-Leste. So we would like to be a host, a good host when they have the chance to visit Timor-Leste in the future. So thank you very much.
So you said the real work will start soon. We'll be here to help. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It was a pleasure and an honor having sit in your office and speak to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.